I want to welcome everyone, including those who are watching recordings and such. Welcome you to Promptcraft Live. Promptcraft Live. This is the advanced user group for the Midjourney prompting community. It's also something like a laboratory. It's also something like a place where we demo, a place where we debate. And today we are going to take a look at a particular process or workflow step by step and see if we can, for the community, document it and find its weak points and see if we can, as a group of advanced users, help shore it up a little bit. So that's a pretty structured first half. So I want you guys to be prepared for that structure for the first half, and get your brains thinking. Wonderful World of Stuff's gonna love this because I think it's basically his workflow that we're about to, well, not his, but the Victor Gnarly's community has a workflow for consistent characters that involves creating the character in Midjourney, giving it over to Midjourney Video to create a character turnaround, and then using the turnaround back in Midjourney as an OREF. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to step through that, and kind of like a cooking show. And we're going to take a look at how long it takes. We're going to have to imagine how long it takes, because when I actually did it, when I put the materials together, it took over an hour. Because I'm brand new to it, and I'm assuming that users who are going to use this method for consistent characters, it might be the first time they've done it too. So it took about an hour, let's call it about an hour, to do this for the first time from scratch. And what we're going to do is step through the steps I took, and then I'm going to accept corrections to the steps I took and the notes that I took. I actually took physical notes. I know it's extremely old school. And that's how we're going to put together the that's how we're going to put together the FAQ, which is definitely needed. And I'm so pleased that we have Bob Ann and Collect and Damage Case and so many of our other thinkers and Abby here. We do have Abby and Legal Werebeagle here to turn on microphones. So if I'm busy talking and looking at my materials and I haven't unmuted you, just ask in chat anyway, because they will unmute you on my behalf. And if you are watching this as a recording or watching this via some other method, like you're on Twitch or you're on YouTube or something, feel free to throw your questions in the chat or leave as comments. And whatever communication you choose, somebody will get back to you. So don't be shy about that. Okay, that was some preamble, huh? And you know, I'm all about the preamble. Hugo blah 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 on the mic, so you're fine. Okay, well, you know, it's pretty intelligent stuff. Spoken for someone who thinks they're just going blah 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 blah. Okay,
It was my system. I say it was. I did discover it, and I took it over to Victor Gnarly's, and they were saying
okay.
we're doing that. We were doing that, but they're doing it around buildings and inside buildings. I went, oh, so it's the same thing, but I'm doing it with a character. You're doing, and we were able to blend that together. So it's a unified.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it, and I believe that I have at least 5 steps, at least 5, and with some notes. And I wish I could record Discord to take notes from, but maybe we can point AI at the YouTube recording afterwards. And I ask that all of you do this along with me, so that I've got stuff in the way. I ask that you do this along with me so that we all have something to show at the end, and can encounter difficulties together, so that it's not, do you know what I mean? So it's not just one sample. Okay. And I can absolutely give you back the free time you spend following along with me. So as a community, are you guys ready to follow these 5 steps and to paste your since we can't all share screens, to paste in your steps as we go. 5 steps. Are you in?
Looking forward to it.
We've got one in. We've got Twist Reality. We've got Loki. We've got Finn.
I'm in.
Collect. Yeah, I don't want you to do it anyway. No, Collect. The only reason why I want you to try it is so that you can say, this is dumb, we should do it some other way. Because that's how we get this so solid. Okay. Okay, here we go. Step number 1. Get Midjourney up on the screen. Okay, I can do that. My Create tab. Okay, so here's my Create tab.
Everybody
Step number 1.
who does it, who says they're doing it, I'm making note of that.
Okay, thank you, because that's how I'll give them the hours. Midjourney.
Yep.
There it is. Okay, step number 1. Make the character in Midjourney. Okay, make a character in Midjourney for this sample exercise. A big, bold identification cues. Nothing subtle. Limit how many details are necessary to identify the character. So I'm going to give everyone the same prompt, and everyone is just going to change some colors and such in order to make this fast. Hold on. I am prepared for this. I'm giving you... Well, okay, I'm giving you this prompt. You don't have to use my profile, but start with this prompt and make it your own. And then you guys are seeing ahead to other steps because this is cooking show style. So I'm going to use this prompt. I'm going to make a character made of soft. I'm going to make mine white. Cloud, I'm going to keep saying white because I know that it wears a matted, let's see, forest green hooded cloak with faint, I don't know, golden constellation lights. Just go in and add a few words or take a few words to make your... Don't change. It doesn't really matter. I just want it to be fast. You don't have to restructure it if you don't want to. I just want you to get some sort of character standalone like this. And when you have it, copy the image URL and paste it into... This is a Halloween themed. It's a little Halloween-y guy in a cloak holding something. It doesn't have to be a lantern if you don't want it to be, but I want it to be quick. So I'm giving us 2 minutes. Edit the prompt, get a standalone on a neutral background. We're all advanced users, so we're able to grab a prompt and oh, can you send to YouTube? Yes, thank you, Clarabelle. I'm like, so like at the beginning I'm like, all the people on YouTube, please, and then I totally didn't include them like a champ. Okay. I need to get up my chat, and then Clarabelle, it is incoming. Okay, YouTube has it. All right. Loki, that's beautiful. Ted changed it to a teacup of some kind. Very nice, very nice. All of our little Halloween characters. Okay, step 1 is to make the character in Midjourney. Big, bold identification cues that make it easy for us to recognize that it's that character, because we're going to lose some of the nuance in the future. Okay, grab your okay, Collect. God, scary. Collect's really getting into the Halloween spirit. Hi, Stu. Welcome to Promptcraft Live. I just got a notice that one of my earbuds died. That's awesome. If you guys can't hear me, immediately start saying in chat, we can't hear you, and I'll switch headsets. Okay, the next thing you want to do is click animate manually on your character. Delete the prompt and type 3D rotation. You can do low or high. I'm going to do low.
Oh.
And it
I
can be a
just,
loop or not.
oh, all right. No,
I'm going to do a
you,
loop.
You're always no, Clarinet.
Oh, hold up. You guys are coming through my external mic. That's going to cause some problems. Just a second. Give me just a second, you guys. This happens all the time. Because I'm cheap, I'm trying not to buy new earbuds. And when I try not to buy new earbuds, then they I've got ancient earbuds. That's my problem. So the Bluetooth is the old style Bluetooth, so it just drops constantly. Okay. Wendy, will you speak again?
Yeah, I was just about to say use the same image as a start
It still
and
says
end.
connecting.
Wait, let's fix before we deviate. Let's
There we go.
follow her
It worked.
her workflow exactly the way she has it set up, and then we can add or alter. We're gonna stick this structure,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Because
It's
I
Yeah,
have,
my-
I have comments. I have
first.
comments too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm taking notes though. Use the same start and end frame as this pushes the full turnaround into 4. Okay. So I had great success just doing it this way.
Yeah, brilliant.
With a loop. It didn't work for all 4 of them. But it worked for like 2 out of the 4, and I was like, okay, that's good enough. Collect whatever as an advanced user. If you have a better, easier way to create a turnaround that you actually quite like, use it. The prompt is just 3D rotation. Delete your prompt and put in 3D rotation. So step 2, animate manually and add and delete your prompt and use 3D rotation on low motion with a loop as your video.
Fractal Bob, the camera circles around. Can you please share that? Can you share one of the videos? Because
in theory, this will create a simple turnaround. When you have it, copy video URL and plop it in here. Just so I know that you have something spinning around. And I see all of the alternative prompts. Let me write down the alternative prompts or copy and paste them anyway. So let's see. Alternative prompts we have going here are, whoops. Well, that's not what I meant to do. Come here. Come on. Little window. Okay. Alternative prompts. I said 3D rotation, but let's see. I see use the same start and end frame. I have 3D rotation loop. Wendy says use the same start and end frame.
The reason I say that is because Midjourney the camera won't move then. You know, the camera can sometimes orbit around the person when you say 360.
That's right.
By putting it as an end and forget the looping, and just by going end and end, it's creating a loop, but it goes directly to it. So it tries to spin it around really quickly to get the full rotation, and you get cleaner turns that way. I tried all those other ways before. This is just the way I ended up going, yeah, it's better having it, the two together.
Jenny?
End and start.
I'm
Jenny?
95% sure that clicking that loop button, all that it does is make the image both the start frame and end frame. That's what the loop button just does for you automatically.
Absolutely, but sometimes it loops it. But what it does is it just starts to the camera sometimes goes around the character, looping it that way. Whereas 360 turnaround with facing forward, Midjourney seems to just goes directly to that. It's not. It's not the same as a loop. It really isn't, because it will literally go from that frame as quickly as it can to that frame. Where in loop it doesn't do that. It will start to do fancy things. It won't go directly to it.
Yeah.
Okay. I love your one-legged ghost, Loxley. Okay, so we all have some sort of rotating guy. Who's is there anyone that got stuck? It helps if you have a full body.
I'm still waiting for my video to render.
Fair enough. Was there anything else I should add to the note? Anyone else have other? Oh, the note should say it works best with a full body portrait.
I have 2 comments.
Okay.
I actually prefer, instead of 3D rotation, I prefer the prompt 3D model turnaround.
3D
because
model turnaround.
because it's more likely to maintain the stiffness of the character. Now, if you want your character to move around while potentially, that's one thing. But if you want it to really just get whatever that pose is in 360-degree turn, I would do a 3D model turnaround.
Okay.
I haven't tried 3D rotation much, but that's the prompt I use pretty consistently.
Love it. Okay.
The other thing
shit.
that
Sorry, not you. Hi. Oh my goodness is what I meant to say.
the other comment I want to make is in reference to the starting image.
Yeah.
You, especially with yours, you asked for particles and things glowing around the lantern and things.
Yeah.
The cleaner your image, the better your turnarounds are going to be. Mine,
Okay.
if you saw it all, the particles started floating while the character was turning around, so the particles didn't stay.
I wasn't concerned with that. Because I knew that I was going to get still images from it, and so the particles turning just created particles on all angles.
Yep. Whereas
I'll show you.
With collects,
with collects,
the particles are stationary as the model turns around, like they're stuck in space. I know. I'm just making note of that. Particles act weird in weird ways with
they
video.
act weird. They don't act natural when video takes over. The video tends to presume they're at attachment points on the body rather than their own thing.
Yeah, and I agree as well. All my training, I tell people 360 character turnaround. That's what I've got every time. It's
okay. Hold on, let me put that down. 360 character turnaround.
Yeah, that's what I've done from day one.
Okay, I'm going to put all these in.
Yeah.
We're boring the dog. Can you see that? We're boring the dog. Okay, so now we have something basically rotating.
That's funny.
She's wearing her. By the way, she's wearing her Halloween bandana. You can admire that. It's got candy corns on it.
Because I'm eating my dinner, can I just cheat and put one of my characters in that?
Yeah. Oh, of course. It doesn't.
There he is turning.
I'm just trying to help people do this quickly. So to do it quickly, I figure we'll start with the basic Halloween-y prompt. Okay. Step 3. You have to. Hold on. Where did my? Okay. Is this true with you guys too? Do you have copy current frame in your Midjourney now? You don't have to pop it into a new window?
Yeah.
Or is this me because I'm in the Guides and Mods group?
I have it on.
You have it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they added that to shorten our workflow because they saw that we were constantly popping it out, right? So,
Yeah.
so now, yeah. It's been added for everyone. Okay. So what I want you to do now is grab at least 4 frames. And we're all going to use the same free tool unless you have one that you like. I want you to go to expressadobe.com. It would help if I made that a link. I know, you don't have to use it. If you're an advanced user and you already have something that you like for this sort of thing, then please do not use it. If you are like, I don't really know how to do this, I've never done this before, walk me through it, I'm going to suggest this because it has a one-click remove background button. So I'm going to hit the plus button. I'm going to choose 16:9. And then I'm going to go back to my video and I'm going to grab a front-facing one. Whoa, you have to keep it on pause. Ah, dang. This is the hardest part for me because my hands shake. Okay, a front-facing one, copy current frame, right-click, paste. Do this the way you want, and then I'm going to do remove background. This is another place where particles get weird. It's when you remove background. Anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to go, and I'm going to let this go forward a little bit more. I'm going to get a side view. Copy current frame. Paste. Remove background. I see all these tools. I'll grab them. These are great. Okay, and then I'm going to get one facing the other direction. Oh, facing behind. Copy current frame. Go back to my tool, whatever one I'm using, paste. Do what you like to remove the background. It's not perfect. Okay, and then I need one facing the other direction. So, and then you can have others too. Let me show you a finished one. So you can see the sort of thing that you can do. And then I'll take comments. This needs to be a little bigger. Okay. So when you have your character turnaround sheet, however you've decided to make it, paste that in. So I'm going to upload my file. And then I've got another one that I can show you. That I was working on. And I want to show you this one because you can see I was very interested in getting the brass lantern and the shape of the hood and the shape of the sleeves, right? So I added, and Wendy, tell me if this is wrong, but I added all these extra poses to show the shape of the sleeves. And
yeah, this is something you do for OREF when you want all those things. And you'd obviously have a transparent background if you're going to add that into somewhere.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is not how I do it now. But this is how I do it for OREF.
This is what I'm doing. Is I'm trying to make an OREF.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Ultimately,
you're not right. That's exactly what you do for an OREF. Yeah.
Okay.
I get my character. Do you not remember when I showed you? I get my character to walk into the scene. Or I'll put
I
the two
do, but
characters together. Yeah. This is a different system then. Okay, cool.
no, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that next.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm just okay. Meanwhile, Beeg says "Light to collect." Finn is asking, "How do you remove the background?" So, if you're using Adobe Express, Finn, I don't know what you're using, but if you're following this along and you've used Adobe Express and you've done a paste, then when you click on your image, it should automatically open this tab with Erase, Remove Object, Insert Object. There's a Remove Background button. Now, egg on my face if this is somehow protected behind a paywall or something, then I've led you astray. Okay, so I am looking to see who has successfully made their character turnaround sheet. It only takes a second once you get the hang of it. You saw how quickly I made mine.
So wait, are we doing front, back, and side?
I did front, back, and side. This one is an example of doing more. Hold on, we've got a note that's saying, because that was my next, whoops. This is the other one I made. This is where it's front, back, and both sides.
Okay.
Okay, so step 3 was to bring the completed character sheet back to Midjourney to use as an OREF, along with a phrase of keywords that will pull and pin the right details from that OREF. But I was going to say, this is where I need help because it didn't work. And wonderful world of Beagle is what I was
It is a wonderful world, isn't it?
It is a
Beagles,
wonderful world of
yes.
Beagle. So that's not step 4. Step 4 is to not bring this in. This is not a good OREF. What have I made if not a good OREF?
You have made a great character sheet.
Yeah. That's what
And the purpose of a character sheet for our purposes is different than just throwing something into Midjourney. So the purpose of a character sheet is to provide a visual reference and to create and establish the character in the same way that an artist would use character reference sheets.
But for humans, you're saying that Midjourney can't make
for
head or tail of
humans.
this kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm
It is-
gonna
'cause
say
it's
this
trying
is
to
for
take
humans
an
only.
OREF, and it's trying to either combine the various items into a thing, like trying to put a scene in. But what you really want is you want multiple references on your character sheet, and you also want them individually accessible so that you can pick out the pose that you want and put it. You can
Okay,
the
the
combine
Library
an
of Poses
OREF.
thing. I remember that now. Library of
You can
Poses. Hold on.
combine in an OREF. You can combine a scene. This is something we just started doing in the past couple weeks. You can combine a scene and then the character pose next to the scene and get that character, and you use that as an OREF and get the character in a scene similar to what's in the OREF. You could also just use the character and superimpose the character into the scene that you're looking for using the editor. So those are 2 different ways to use this turnaround to get you poses and things that you want. This may be the only way to get 2 characters interacting with one another, is to have them individually posed separately and then getting them and then using the editor to make it look like they're actually interacting. But we don't use the full character sheet anymore. It doesn't work with OREF. I think Collect and I would disagree here. Is I think it still works with CREF, but I don't think it works with OREF.
Okay, so Library of Poses is a set of images of the character made by video frame capture that represents the character in you know, a number of key poses. So that's the goal. So Johnny Bones has a character sheet with front, side, and back, but we're also suggesting that you take your stuff and keep it in separate images.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna, can I just save this as an image? That would be so, I can't. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna add a page. And then I'm gonna copy this. And then when I download this, each page will be its own image is the thing.
Yeah.
Paste. And I'm gonna crop these in just a second. Copy, new page, paste, and copy, new page, paste. Okay, and then can I change the size? Well, this is about fighting with Adobe Express. This is not about oh crap. This is not about how this process works. That's interesting that it'll resize it, but it won't.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's okay. When I download it, I'll crop it. I don't know.
What I've done with my 360-degree character is you look in the, I'll
Uh-huh.
just put it in the chat there. It's, when I go to click upload or drop your file here, I have Grimora. She's there in all rotation that you can see in the chat, and so I can just pick the rotation I want of her to walk into that scene with another character, and because I've got the angles already there in my Midjourney, that's my library of her main stances, you know.
Okay, so I'm gonna make that. I've got a character left, and now I'm gonna do character right. Oops, I opened the wrong one.
While you're doing that, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, if anyone would like to join the conversation, please let me know in the chat. I will be glad to open up your microphone so that you can talk with us. If you have any questions about the workflow we're doing right now, you can
Okay.
either type them out in chat or I'll give you access to your mic.
All right, I am almost done with this. I've got character left, character front, character right. Character back. I'm just in the other window cropping these guys. Oops. Character back. All right. So I now have 3 separate files, which I'm going to share with you in case you want to use them. I have character back, character front, and character side. Now, over time, if I'm smart, I will expand this library. Oh, apparently I have 4 here. Over time, I will expand this library of poses. What I really love about the library of poses thing is that when I first started doing consistent characters documentation, this is what I suggested. And there was a pushback of people saying, no, just use a character reference sheet. And now we've come full circle and people are saying back to me, no, use a library of poses. I'm like, yes, That's so satisfying. Okay. All right, Abby. So I've got my library of poses. So step number 4 is consider the scene you're gonna do, and the scene we're gonna do is our character standing in a graveyard. I cropped them in my operating system. I just used my screen clip thingy. But you can crop it. Anyway, anyone who pushed a character sheet to see if didn't check their work. Well, I'm feeling really good right now, is all I'm saying. I'm feeling like, because, you know, I mean, it's my job to give people good advice, so I was really stuck for a while there. Yeah. Okay, so now we have our library of characters. So we select from our library the pose that best suits the scene we're creating. And the scene we're creating for this exercise is standing in a graveyard. So just select the one facing front. It's very boring. It's not a very challenging scene. Where would you place the turnaround 100 to include all of the figures? 0. So, oh, you're challenging the, yeah. It's the best of an imperfect system. All of what we're doing is trying to figure out the best thing for an imperfect system, for sure. So here we are. I'm going to upload my front-facing one. My front-facing character. And I'm going to make it an OREF. And I think the OREF weight should be 400. What about you guys? Or sometimes 200 was good too. Okay, Beaks. Loki votes for 400. Does anyone else have a feeling? 100?
Feeling 200 would be better.
200?
I say 200.
I was using 200 with quite a lot of success in my tests. But for some things, 400 also seemed really nice. So, but I like to type words. Fair enough. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is use some keywords from the prompt to kind of recreate the character. So I'm just going to say humanoid white ghost in a cloak holding a lantern standing in a cemetery. Okay, I can't spell cemetery in a graveyard. And then I want to say animation, illustration style sort of thing. And my OREF is at 100. My OREF is 200, excuse me. Hey, Southern Belle. So there he is. Now the white background kind of got infected there with the white background on the character sheet. So that's my fault. I need to put it in the prompt. So I'm saying a dark night sky and stars. 400 gets you 2 lamps for free. We just throw that in. Again, don't get mad at your OREF if it doesn't work. Yet the prompt is the most powerful tool. So if you get 2 lamps, you know, then make sure you say humanoid holding a lantern in one hand, and a staff in the other hand, right? Or whatever, like give his hand something to do. Or holding a lantern in both hands, or holding a lantern aloft. Right? Use the prompt to fix whatever's wrong. He's pretty cute, you guys.
Mhm.
If I wanted him in another pose, I would use video to create that pose, and then take the OREF from the video, repeat this process, and bring it in to the scene that I wanted. I'm just making a note of the library of poses on my physical notes here. Okay. So that's as far as I wanted to take us. Those are the steps. And I wanted to show some work from previously where I was able to get my character having tea. And I guess I can go to explore likes. You can see. Well, no, those are not my own likes. Organize. Feedback given. Liked. Well, they didn't show up. I very carefully hearted some things so that we could go back, and this was one of them. The heart fell off. And this was one of them. Just to show using the character, this was using the character sheet. And the character sheet produced one that was completely wrong and 3 that were okay. I tried it with, and this is another example. I tried to put the character in a waiting room. It didn't like it. Didn't like it. I mean, I got that. That was pretty good. And the fact that we got 4 out of 4 using the single image really establishes to me that we have a winner in the pose library. And anything that, whoops, copy image URL, paste it into the chat so we know you've got your little guy standing in a cemetery. Very nice, Finn. Okay, so I hear Wendy kind of sort of starting to speak. What did you want to add to the last step here?
Oh, I don't do the last step that you're doing. What I do is
Select from the
once I've got my
library. Okay.
once I've got my character cut out, and then I've got all the 360 degrees. Like for example, so I've got my gorilla. This is Kinky's mascots for a business. So this is the gorilla and the thing. I put them onto a both in the position facing forward because that's how I need them both to enter the scene. And I've got and that's transparent background. They've already been cut out, right? And so I then just get them to literally walk on. I said, get Gator and Ape walk forward into a graveyard because it whatever style they are, it will actually make the graveyard that style as they walk into it. And then I've got the scene to start with all the characters in there, whether it be 5, 6 of them, whatever. But I wouldn't more than 3 gets really complicated. But 2 characters, I can source them in and out of a scene, and they're constant. The one thing here with Monkey will also have a very long gator tail every now and then, so I just have to enforce the fact that Ape has a short, cute tail, just to enforce the long tail from appearing. So I use a cutout of the turnaround, and then I get them to walk into scenes that way. I can
Okay,
also,
we're gonna do it.
and what I can
I'm
also
gonna
do is
take.
get a scene that's totally alien to that anime. I could say it to a real world scene in New York and get them to walk into that, and it won't affect them. They'll still see cartoons, but they'll walk into the real world. So you can walk, yeah. So what you can see there is the very beginning frame is a transparent PNG of the of the characters, and then the end frame is the well, I haven't actually got an end frame there
Oh,
because we didn't have
I
one.
lost.
So I
I
said,
lost sound again. Not your fault.
sometimes when I get my characters to walk into a frame and I think, oh, I'm going to use this graveyard in the future, I've got a story in mind. What I then do is get the characters to walk out of the scene. So I've got the scene on its own, and I can take a snapshot of it. Then, if I want more of that scene, I can do an orbit turnaround of that graveyard, giving me several angles that I'm able to use during the production.
We've
And
got a
the character-
significant echo.
Oh yeah. So, who's it coming through? So you, Clarinet? Yeah. Got an echo, Clarinet, like we did the other day. Can you hear us, Clarinet?
Just a sec.
Checking.
I can hear you coming out of some speakers that are sitting on my desk, which is not helpful. Okay, now I can hear you in my ears.
Good. Hello,
Okay,
hello,
it's gone.
Well, in a second I can. Come on now.
Hello.
There we go. Might be time for me to switch. It's time for me to switch.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Now it's back.
It's time for me to switch up.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, this is the list I've got of people who are working with us. If you were not on the list and you were prompting this, oh man, I can't think with that echo. If you were prompting along with us and you are not on this list, please let me know.
I don't need to be on the list. I'm okay. I'm using pre videos I've made and done the one graveyard walk.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I have to switch.
And
I have to switch this.
is there any
Thank
more
you for
echo?
this list. Thank you for the list. Can you do this again, but put it in single quotes so that I see, because I can't copy and paste this.
Yep.
Right.
I'm gonna DM it to you.
So, that's fine. I have a question for you, Wendy. I was able to get my character into a graveyard. And
Yes,
I am now able to stop the video at any point and get him in the graveyard as I like. But the problem is the scenery that is created by video is awful in comparison to the scenery created by Midjourney Image. So why would I want to do this?
It's because it keeps the same style, it keeps the same textures. I think it makes it amazingly, and in 720, it's incredible.
You think this looks good compared to the other one?
Well, I'm not sure. Well, yeah, it matches the style perfectly.
The background doesn't.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know. It matches. It's what it does. It grabs because it's got your image. It doesn't know what your background's going to be. So it uses the image of the character like a style reference almost. So it takes all if that's a photograph, it'll make a photo. It will be cinematography. Oh yeah. So,
But I gave it. Well, I mean, I guess I just don't.
I think it matches
Yeah,
the style, but
what-
you gotta give it more style prompt, and then maybe use raw if you can describe the background enough.
I often, once I get a scene, I will then, as I say, I walk the character off the scene so I can generate the background to my liking, and then get them to walk back onto it. But this way, it's all about like you said, like you taught in the early days. I've always done this myself with my comic books. I would have a walk into an office, and then I would imagine if I was sitting at that table, what's the door look like where they come in. So I would draw all four parts of the office and keep things static, and I would have them on like what does it call it now? The transparent. Basically, I'd have my office was there then, and I could just draw my characters into them anytime I wanted, you know. So it was like I was having lots of references to it, and now with this video thing, which I've never done animation or anything like that. I'm able to do the same technique I used to do with my comic book library, and my character library, but animate it, and it stays true to the style of the drawing or character.
Okay.
I know 720. I know 720 is very expensive, but it is very good, very very good. So sharp.
I believe you. I am struggling to make this video match my conception of the style of the character.
Right.
I felt a lot better about these as capturing the style. Look at the painterly grass and stone and stuff compared to the sort of I don't know. He has a white outline in this one.
That's the
it's
cutout.
Very simple.
Yeah. Yeah, the white outline is the cutout from the Adobe. You have to
right.
There was a trick. Did I not show you the trick? You have to
you have to reverse feather.
Yeah, it's called shrink. So you shrink in +1
that one works pretty well.
Yeah, that one works beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, but that's the dark. Well, that's not the one you like, is it? That's the.
I don't like this because the background looks fake. The background looks. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The background looks like somebody, like a stop motion film, right. Whereas for me, I saw this character as a flat painted character. So video doesn't like to do that.
What video is doing here is it's taking the colours, the textures, and the style of the character, and it's creating it in that format. So yeah, because you look at the colour of his hair, his feet, his head. Look at the gravestones. Look at everything around it. It's absorbing that style of the character. So maybe this is where you need to create your scene, and then get the character to walk onto it, or get that character to walk off.
Okay, let me try that. Okay. So here's a step. I'm gonna make a graveyard, and under a twinkling night sky, covered in weeds, children's book illustration style. Okay, and I'm gonna use him as the style, and right. AR
the style you've got, you like that's there in that picture. So use that picture and get the character to walk away from it. So you've got just the graveyard in that style for yourself for the future.
Oh, okay.
You see, so there's no trying to recreate that is crazy. It's already there. Look.
So, all right. So I'm gonna say a humanoid goes in a cloak holding a lantern, exits the frame.
And if, for example, you wanted to run in 16:9, this is a great place to do this. Is to get a blank 16:9 transparent background, and then have that as the end frame. He will then walk onto that 16:9 frame, and the graveyard will be created along it as well. So you'll have a big if you're working in 16 by 9, it's a great, because that's what I'm working in 16 by 9. So I want my character in those kind of scenes set in that size. This is just a tip to say, now's the time. If you want that graveyard as a save scene in that format, that what's it called, resolution, aspect ratio, then now's the time to do it. Get him to, yeah. But you would need a blank 9 by 16, a 16 by 9, 16 by 9 PNG transparent background.
I'm hoping he'll walk off and leave this cemetery alone. But the
Yeah,
camera's following him on this one.
it does sometimes. happen, yeah.
Twisted said exit stage left. Walking off to the left.
I put X.
I'll try that.
Midjourney doesn't seem to know stage left, right, house left, right.
Walks off scene, it knows. I do it all the time.
It knows
Walks off
exit
scene,
frame. And off
it does,
scene.
Yeah.
Walks. Off
Exits the frame and
scene.
disappears. Yes, that's important. Yeah.
And disappears.
Exits the frame and disappears. Yeah. Because sometimes they exit frame and then jump back in again the last second. But all you're after is the character not on the screen for one stage, and all of a sudden you've got your scene. Now you can start rotating around in it and creating more, more. I often find high works better because he buggers off quicker.
Oh shit! Sorry, threw my earbuds across the table. Sorry. We're very pro here at Midjourney.
But
Super pro.
Clarinet, the current workflow that we're using is what I just posted. So instead of removing the background on your character, you create a background that you want to see.
That's what I started to do, and Wendy suggested this. So let me do that one too. I started to do it here, and it didn't work. Graveyard in a twinkling night sky covered in wings, children, and I'm going to say storybook because as soon as I said children, it put children in the. But this is the style that I want, minus the little kids. So
you didn't want the rich green colors that you were talking about then?
Well, I don't care about the colors. I care that it's still painterly.
Okay.
So
why don't you say
now
painterly?
This is.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that word works.
You always give me crap for not using the word that I want in the prompt.
I know.
Why don't you use the word painterly?
You're so right. Golly, I mean.
Clarinet's becoming. What Clarinet is becoming for me is the client going, well, I don't want that. Oh, okay. So what you want is.
I have to play the client because I'm documenting all the ways that it forks.
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
All the different ways that you can go. Okay, so the different ways that you could go are you can prompt the character to enter the scene and copy frames from that video. You can do this with multiple okay. You can prompt the scene and have the character walk onto it. You can have your character walk off a scene and then you have a scene ready for more activity. And the last one is you can what?
No, Himbos is interesting.
Yeah, that's what I told you that Himbo. It's really fun how it will mix cartoon and film and everything together as well.
Oh,
really
I love
fun.
It. Love it, Himbo.
I do a lot of it.
I'll have that. Let's see if I can make that show up for the YouTube people. Because the YouTube people are over in their own window over here. They don't get to see the stuff animate unless they go over there and click it.
Right.
You can have your character walk off this. Okay, wait. You can prompt the scene empty and have the character walk onto it. You can have your character walk off a scene and then you have a scene ready for more activity. Or you can... no, those are the two. Was there a third one? Prompt the scene empty and have the character walk onto it. Have the character walk off the scene and then you have the scene ready for more activity. You can prompt the character walking onto the scene, walking onto the scene without and let video create the scene for you based roughly on the style of the character. Your mileage may vary here. This is the one that I acted all clienty about.
That's the one where I don't think video is good at creating the style. My suggestion to amplify that is using an end ref. Or an end ref, an end frame.
An end frame. Okay. The end frame is the one we have right here. You can prompt the scene empty, have the character walk onto it. Use the scene as an end frame and your character cut out as the start frame.
Yeah.
You have your character walk off a scene and then you have a scene ready for this is really a separate thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so these notes are held, but it'll all come together as you guys know it will. And then what's nice is if you ever need to help someone, we'll have something up for
Yeah.
We'll have something up for them to look at.
Yeah. See, Victor was showing us that if you didn't want your characters in the same, there's two in the chat there where they gave us a picture. It was a 9x16 or a 2x3 or something, and so you can see it. It almost opens up into it starts with a white. We've had to expand it to be a 9x16, 16x9 right? So you can watch the scene. It fills in the scene for me and makes it to a 16x9, the bottom one. So there was a scene, we only had it in a 9x16, and so I transferred it to a 16x9, and it literally fills in the style for you. You see that?
That's lovely. Yep, I see it.
And then I got my characters to walk on, look, up there at the top. I put them in the wrong way around.
Video is very good at maintaining the style that's there, but it is not good at coming up with style.
What I used to do is use the characters as if I want to make an image separately, not have them walk into it because I don't like it, don't like the output. Many clients didn't. I think clients. I'm just in Learning Pro, and people going, "I'm trying to do this with video." So every one of my lessons has been different. There's been no format of going exactly this. It's been the rough steps, but we've had to do different turns to meet the character, to meet the user's needs, right? But what I've often done is I've found by using the characters themselves and using them as an SREF, a style reference, I've been then be able to create my scene separately and have them walk on it, and it's still right. You know, it keeps to the characters.
Shit.
So
I just used the wrong prompt.
when I posted, I managed to get him to walk off without an end frame and without the camera moving.
Oh, there's some ears. Just
nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll give you the prompt too.
But you're a genius. I know this.
Excellent work.
Did you use
There's also a lot of randomness. So I mean, for the newer people, if it's not panning out the way you expect, remember there's a lot of randomness going on here, and just tackle the problem with your prompt and do it a second time. Still camera. The character walks away to exit the scene, leaving only the graveyard of the frame. Yes, brilliant.
That's the sandwich.
Oh, Andy.
That's the sandwich prompt that I created with George. Have you seen the picture?
Sandwich.
Yeah. That is a sandwich. Yeah.
It is.
It is a sandwich. Yeah. Let's show Clarinet the street.
Oh, the static shot on both sides. I thought you meant the graveyard would be on both sides. I'm like, no, you only mentioned the graveyard once. I see. Still camera and static shot.
It's called sandwich prompting, where you have to emphasize what's going on top and bottom, and then in the middle, what's happening, what's moving. We have a little test sheet for it, don't we? Where is it again? I'll race you there, Johnny. So much
Well,
crap
now
up here.
this is awesome, but he's facing the wrong way because I didn't mention which way he should be facing. That's on me.
I have the
There we go. There we go.
slightly tweaked version here.
Oh, we both. Oh, I did it at the same time. Both at the same time. Okay, I'll delete mine.
We got different
That's pretty
burgers.
cute.
Got two different burgers.
Yeah, we made. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't do that feathering thing. He does
Yeah,
look a little bit added.
Yeah, I
But
think I mentioned you do a 0.1% 3D curved. You feather in, and then you put the 3D curve on it just by 0.1%, 0.5%. Yeah, so it's like half of 1% basically, and it gives it that lovely little curl. Takes away all that glow, and Midjourney just goes, oh, it just grabs that border border detection. Is that what it's called? Border collision. It loves it. It loves it. Just very smooth, as you've seen with those characters of Kinkies. They are just gorgeously smooth.
excellent. Okay. If you, Johnny, are you posting these in the resources? And I'm just not seeing. I just didn't look. Because who made this? Is this you? Did you make this?
That was well, I think Wonderful kind of wrote the text, but Himbo made the infographic from ChatGPT.
Yeah. This was just during me Rock and Roller, George. We were brainstorming on how to keep things still, and we fell upon this by accident. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning when I gave up, and I came back, woke up at 7 a.m. and he'd worked it out, the sandwich. I went, because we can reverse the sandwich too to keep the background moving and the character still. And we worked out that you can, and that it's been working successfully for. Oh, we've got about 3 weeks out of that one, haven't we? It's been working well. And proof in the pudding, Johnny's just used it.
Okay, so I am adding it to the notes. There we go. Okay. Wow, that's huge. Well, it's added. This is all going to be broken out into its own. Each one will be its own destination. And once that's done, I think Midjourney proper will link to us, because this is supposed to be us. So, Wendy, if you're not in here, if your stuff isn't in here, let's get it added. Himbo, Johnny. I've been a little bit behind since this family thing I'm going through, but we'll get it there. There, so you go. I just shoved it in there. So if anyone does happen to come to the what's the best way to shoot video when neither the subject nor the camera moves, that's some wordy shit. I gotta fix it. Then they'll at least be spammed with your graphic now, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
You put it in the volunteers room. It's been there for a while.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I'm just
didn't absorb it.
I'm behind. Okay. What if you need to do exactly what you did, but also need to have a specific item in the video? A consistent character walks into a scene, picks up an item like a branded liquor bottle or something to show the viewer. Is it possible yet? You can get the character already holding the book as a consistent character, but wondered if we'll do this as well. That's a great question. Go ahead. Yeah.
I've just done it. If you, it's not the same, but it's similar. I've got Kinky's character to go into my office with Selena, and what I need is the end frame. I need him sitting down in front of her. And so somebody said to me, "Can you get her boss then to walk in?" I didn't have her boss as a character, so I used Kinky's Gator. And if look, all I'm looking for is the scene where he sits down and stop. There he is. Now I can get him to walk in the room and grab a bottle of whiskey, or place a bottle of whiskey on the table. You see?
So you think that if I prompted a table with a bottle of whiskey on it, I could have my character come in and grab it?
Yeah, Yeah, I've already got my office already exists, right? So I can then use either I could do it the easy way and just superimpose, what's it called? Photo. I could go and
Photo
put the
bash.
photo bash. Sorry, I could just come and put the bottle of whiskey on there, right? That'd be the easiest way to do it. But if people don't want to do it or can't do that kind of thing, then you can just say, I get a picture of the office with her sitting in there, for example. I then get Midjourney and I can just use the editor to put the bottle on the table, and then I can get Gator to walk in and grab the bottle and pour a drink. He'll do it. What I'm probably wanting is end scene of him holding the bottle, pouring it into a glass. And that means I don't get any of this nonsense. So you see, on this scene here we're looking at, he's jumping up, he's jumping on the thing, and he jumps off. I don't care about that. I needed him sitting in the chair. I'm going to go freeze frame, him sitting there. That's my beginning scene. And then they start to have an argument, you see. But I've got the scene now with two characters staying consistent in the scene, ready to go, ready to start, roll action. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. So here's a bottle of whiskey. So you're saying, whoops. Sorry. Here's my bottle. You're saying I can now have my character walk on and grab this. If this is my end frame, my start frame?
That you can do it. You can do it either way. I find it's easier to put the cut off character. I put that as the end frame. I know that sounds ridiculous because you're going, well, how am I going to use that? It's because I want the character with the bottle in his hand, maybe, you see. So that's the frame I want it to be. So for him to go and pick that up, I need to go and capture that start or beginning frame. So my thing here is to get the character holding that bottle.
So I
yeah.
can't wait. You're saying so use him as the end frame and the scene with the bottle as the start frame?
I would use the bottle as the end frame and get the character to walk up towards the bottle. Although you're thinking, well, that's going to be counterintuitive. He will actually.
Okay.
He'll probably pick up the bottle and he'll probably put it down again because that's the end frame, right? But you'll have him holding the bottle. I'm actually not sure what are we trying to get out of the scene. Somebody walks up and just takes the bottle and walks off again. Is that what it is?
I just want him holding the object that I've created.
Right. Cool. You should be able to do that.
I've created this bottle of whiskey. I've got a character. He's holding a lantern. I would like him to walk. I would like to see him holding the whiskey and the lantern. This particular whiskey, not just any old.
Yeah. It'll be that whiskey. It'll be that one. Yeah. What I do is I run it in high. I do all four because you never know with Midjourney. It's so temperamental. I just run it in high, low, raw, high, low. So I have all four running, and usually one of those is going to be doing the job. Sometimes raw just does nothing. It's just like, what is going on? He walks onto the scene, stands next to the bottle, and then the bottle just ends with the scene of just, well, the end scene is going to be, that last flash frame is going to be just that picture. He's not going to be in it. But it's the in-between bits. Midjourney loves end frames where it'll interact with them very well.
Okay. This is not the same bottle.
Is it not?
Now it is. It wasn't for a second there, I guess.
Towards the end frame, but I've got to hope he grabs it in one of these. It's usually the high ones they grab it and go. They might go a bit nuts, right? And he starts walking through tables and doing weird things. It doesn't matter. We want the scene with him holding the bottle. We want that captured frame, so then we can direct it with him holding the bottle. Or sometimes you can get him to walk in, and then you can get him to walk in. While he's got that bottle in his hand, you can then get him to walk into my office and put the bottle on the table.
He didn't. Maybe I need to extend it. I don't know. Oh, here, this one he did. This one's raw high.
This is why you have to try all the different four
to see what. Look, Galley. Is this what you meant? Galley.
So I can use the exact image and different bottles or whatever. Yeah. I should really spend more time in the volunteers room, shouldn't I? Showing people what I'm doing.
Yes. Okay. It became the bottle.
Oh, that's interesting. But again, still cool. But I mean, yeah. But at least you've got a scene holding the bottle now. A capture. What about the others?
So I could grab this and use this to encourage him to hold it another way. I don't know. Are any of these usable? Oh.
It's like plugged into a lantern. I like it.
Yeah,
Although you
I
wouldn't
could
know,
use
would you?
that and clean it up. I could use that and clean it up, Gally.
Yeah. Magic Eraser's amazing.
It's his lantern turns into it every time. That's funny on all 4 of these.
Oh, look at the way the bottles, the whiskey in the glass sloshes look.
I know, that's so cool.
I missed that till just now. Sloshes.
Oh, and here's the bottle to the lantern. Yeah, good job, Himbo. But there is a still frame there that you could use.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. You'll catch that 1 second, and that's what you need. That's it. Oh, yeah. It's what is it? 1, 2.
What if the
you got
different
three
bottles
frames?
is branded for a client?
You can do that.
Well, I mean, if I had gotten that, I mean, okay, let's go, and I can't use a branded bottle because I work for Midjourney. But if you pretend that that's a branded bottle, then why wouldn't this work for that reason?
It will. Yeah, I've done Wawas, a book saying Wawas along the seam, the binding of it, and it still kept saying Wawas all the way through. It did turn the W's turned to a V a few times, but in general, I had lots of snapshots of Wawas the book, which will be soon available in all retail stores or whatever. So,
Here's my version.
Oh, Johnny doesn't drink.
Collect says, start frame is the wizard standing there. End frame is the wizard without glasses, and the start frame is the wizard with glasses.
Yeah.
And start frame, end frame, prompted with using the start frame as an OREF, resulting video with a simple prompt, no splicing or anything, and made the wizard summon a bunny.
Brilliant.
And a staff. A bunny at the top of a staff.
Yeah. It's when you want that bunny to have, like, a Walker's whiskey label on it. That's where you've got to be. But yeah.
Yeah, but still, that's what you make in your end ref.
Yeah.
End ref.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that? End ref.
End
frame.
I think it is an end reference, isn't it? The end frame. I like that. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, you could easily prompt.
Let's not confuse the industry, though.
Easily prompt the bunny to be a specific bunny. Don't tell people that they can start prompting their pets.
Yeah. I've worked with dogs as well. Not trying to do the exact dog. You need a lot more angles stored in your library for that. But yeah, the patches of the dog was like, if the Dalmatians, the dots start to move around and stuff. It's really weird. It's very difficult, Dalmatians.
How do you prompt for scene rotation to see other angles of the same scene?
Right, the orbit trick.
So let me get my scene of the whiskey going here. And I'm going to do a manual prompt, and I'm going to say the camera orbits around the bottle of whiskey on a table in the graveyard. The gravestones in the background sweeping by. Stars.
Like many things, aspect ratio matters here. Doing it in a 9x16 is very difficult, but it will do it. It's tight, but doing it in a 16x9 environment is always easier. Midjourney loves that space to orbit, whereas it sort of gets a bit crushed up and spins around the character a little bit too much when it's a portrait aspect ratio. But they both work, but it's easier with a 16x9. Midjourney likes the space. That's my tip to anybody. If you're depending on what aspect ratio you're working in.
You're saying that you need to use an aspect ratio that gives them room, right?
I find it's better. You get better results, but if you're working in a 9x16 environment, then you've got to get the camera to do its thing in that environment, right? But most people work in 16x9. it's you know, YouTube and film and we have lots of orbiting around the scenery. We have lots of tricks for that. I'm trying to find them. Scrolling through my stuff now. It's you can ask for a turnaround shot of the whole area or the whole graveyard. So turnaround shot is yeah. I usually go off. I find raw mode really screws it up, so I tend to go on low and standard. Turnaround shot of the whole kitchen I've got here, and it does a nice turn. When you go for the high, it gets a bit erratic, like it can, you know, and I often it starts to create second dimensions within the room. It just, you know.
One of these is a definite orbit. Two of them seem to be three of them are zooms with a little bit of orbit.
Yeah, this was me giving an example of, so this is a bit, someone said, what if I went really obscure, bright colours, but I wanted me to walk into that scene? I said, okay, we can do that. And so I went really crazy style look, but I got myself a turnaround. I'll pick the worst one out of the four, but anyway, there you go. It gives me a few angles of the kitchen. There's a bit of a hallucination going on there, a bit of warping look, but I can choose the kitchen as I walk in, to the side, to the left, and I can also continue that journey from, like, say somebody says, oh, well, you haven't got the other side of the room. Well, okay, I start from the cooker as the front angle, and I ask for a 360 degree again, and it just adds me the bit I haven't got, the bit of room that I need to store into my library. But with this kitchen, I can get anybody to walk into it now with all the shots I've got. And yeah, I think I did do that with Glamora. I'm sure I got her to walk into it somewhere. I have so many videos. So I've got, once I've got that scene, I capture the scene of the kitchen, and I got her to walk in and start using the cooker.
Trying to get up.
Look at her dress, man. I love the way that leather, the pleather or leather, just the way it shines and glimmers. Look, that's just crazy. That's just the beauty of Midjourney video. It's so good. The way the light moves on her. But that was me getting Glamora to do some cooking in the kitchen, and I did successfully get her holding pans and throwing pans and hitting things with spoons and stuff. It was just fun. The one thing I learned here was scale was important. Sometimes I had to shrink the character, because she'd walk on and she'd be so big that she'd walk into the kitchen. It'd be like, whoa, yeah, she's just like giant, and giant storms into the kitchen. It's like, because so it matters. Scale matters in that context. Yeah, it's a high resolution image of your character, and it's a lower resolution for the kitchen. She'll come in as a giant 5 times out, half the time. You know, it's like, whoa.
Fascinating. Okay. I wonder if future versions of Midjourney will be smarter about that.
Yeah.
Would it help reveal? Let's try it. The turnaround shot of the whole graveyard just created some panning. So I'm gonna use this one, and I'm gonna add orbits. A turnaround shot. I'm gonna add that. A turnaround shot. The camera orbits around the bottle of whiskey on the table. The gravestones in the background are revealed. The stars.
Use the starting image as an end image as well, and it'll push the rotation all the way around quicker. It'll either go halfway there and spin back again, or it'll go all the way around really quickly. So by putting in the end, so your end frame needs to be the beginning picture, and that will force it to go all the way around to the beginning.
Or just make it a loop, I suppose.
Well, yeah, the loop ends up going a bit haywire, but yeah, you can try it. Try both.
I'll try loop, and I'll try loop, and I'll try not loop. I'll try just making it.
I've got an example of
And
the
I'll try it in
offset.
low, and I'll try it
This
in
is a-
raw.
This is the problem with scale. Look, with the character, look, she's too big for the kitchen. So I used her from a Google shot and just had her walk into the kitchen, and she's quite big, not tall.
Welcome, Veritasium.
Look at that can.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it, Gally. That's the. I love that emoji. Oh, did she come back? There she is. She's all curled up. Okay, what have we got? 92% complete. Okay. Look. It's twisting. It's not turning, but it's twisting. You didn't notice the puppy cam. It's been up there the whole time.
Oh, I did.
Let me know if you want.
Over it.
I can give her a biscuit. You guys just tell me and I'll give her a biscuit. This is just going a little haywire, as you said. The table is actually dancing a little bit. Whee!
Is that standard loop, is it?
No, this is raw.
Oh.
Raw just doesn't do anything helpful.
We're trying to do a turnaround shot of the whiskey or the graveyard.
Orbit around the whiskey.
Okay, I thought we were doing a surrounding. I don't know why I thought we were doing a. That's why I put the kitchen in. You know, the 360-degree turnaround of the kitchen. So yeah.
My experience with doing orbiting around is that it depends on the subject and the background, and you actually have to write it in.
Yeah.
A haunted table is reasonable. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Veritasium wants the dog to have a biscuit. Okay. Right away. You can see she's taking an interest. Jenny, get up.
If she does a backflip. If she does a backflip.
If she does a backflip. Okay, well, we can have her do a little bit. Up.
Oh. Good.
Up. Oh. Okay. Lie down. Okay.
I love that video.
In her little candy corn.
Mhm.
That is awesome. It was just experimenting, trying to get. We worked out to do the Matrix shot. You know I can't remember the name now. But with one person, but doing it with two, that's what happens. But we can get one person and do the Matrix shot all the way around them, orbit all the way around one person. Two people, chaos, absolute chaos. But brilliant still. What a great effect, right? It reminds me of, it's like Fame 2025, right?
Jenny, you're a pretty girl. You're a good girl. That's from Gallifrey. Okay. She's like, yeah, but biscuits.
But that rotation, by the way, to keep everything still while we're trying to run round, that is the sandwich again. It's the viewer. This is the dancing people here, and so what we're doing is we're sandwiching the characters, and I've used literally this prompt, so you can basically redirect that prompt, but just by changing the viewer is looking at a bottle of whiskey, frozen in time. The camera orbits around the scene. The whiskey bottle is perfectly still, zero motion. The view is fixed and unmoving. And so then we're just basically, so we're saying the top and bottom is frozen. All that cowbell stuff going on just to say, please stay the bloody hell still. And then in the middle, we want this is where this is what we're saying. This is what's happening. Yeah, the camera's orbiting. This is this is the meat, of what we want to move. I don't know how it honestly, but I've tried it every different way, and it always seems to be top and bottom is reinforcing the scene and everything still. The middle bit is the movement, the action you want to happen, like the horse eating in the field that time.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay,
sandwich has
this
got
one
us out.
worked. This one
Oh.
worked. Following Collect's advice and yours, in which we actually say the other side of the whiskey bottle is revealed, the back of the gravestone is revealed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wendy, you're a treasure. I am golden.
Wendy is a treasure.
Yeah, you need to bite me to see if I'm real. I'm thinking about gold,
Look at that. Look at that. Are you looking at this?
I am.
Boom.
Can't turn it. Not possible. You can't do that with Midjourney, I've been told.
This?
Yeah, you can't do that. What you've just done there, Midjourney can't do it.
Midjourney can't. Ladies and gentlemen, we have broken the laws of physics.
No,
That's the power of the Midjourney prompting community. Prompting community.
Yeah.
Mostly Collect and Wendy and Johnny.
We're gonna live forever. We're gonna learn how to fly.
Get out your guitar. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Can you put the prompt, please? I can. The prompt is just me going bananas trying to make it work.
Yeah, going bananas. I like it.
This is, I just did 6,000 things in this prompt. A turnaround. I did a sandwich, a turnaround shot. I did a frame by frame description of what the camera would see. Because here's why. Midjourney strives to obey your prompt. If I say the back of the gravestone, it has to make the gravestone spin. If I say the back of the bottle of whiskey, it has to. It's going to try. And all four of them worked. Although not all smoothly. One of them is kind of stop motion style. See?
Well, one out of four is a win in video, let's face it.
Oh, well, we got 4 out of 4.
Can't you remember V3? 1 out of 12 quads would be just a win, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, 1 out of 16. 1 out of 16 was a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is it. But now it's okay. Only 1 out of 4 worked. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm not going to cowbell the last part. I'm gonna copy prompt. I'm going to paste the prompt. I'm going to take out the sandwich, a turnaround shot. I am not sandwich anymore. Cowbell, please add a starting frame. Well, yeah, okay. Cowbell is a SNL reference. If I can bring the GIF up, I will. How do I bring up GIFs in this thing? GIFs. Cowbell.
Didn't loop it though. Yeah, you didn't loop it, so it's sometimes goes a bit haywire because if it hasn't got the end frame to jump to or the loop, I have tried loop. I've done a set of 20 quads all looped and then 20 with end frame. And end frame it goes more directly to it. When it loops, it starts to do fancy crap. There's definitely a difference in the two. You wouldn't think there would be, but there definitely is. It is the same thing, yes, but it does different things. So it might be the same thing, but it acts differently. 100%. Okay, correct. Okay, I love you. Yeah. The beauty of this one is
I love you both so much.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. Yeah.
Well, this didn't work at all because I didn't put the loop in. We discussed that. This one didn't work at all because I didn't put the loop in because I'm a winner. Whoops. And then I just screwed it all up. Woohoo. Okay. Ah, you guys, my hands shake. This is why you're seeing my mouse just go bananas. There we go. Oh, this is hot. Look at that. Look, it added like a really cool foliage and extra gravestones, and that looks really good, you guys. Oh, the ones that I was complaining about were our fixed and unmoving ones. That's why they were fixed and unmoving. Heck. I was looping the ones that are fixed and unmoving like an idiot. Because I didn't stop to read the whole thing. But this turnaround works great. It works great also without the sandwich per what Collect said. Collect is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So Collect, were you here when I revealed the extra tiny tidbit of information we have about the VLM? And that, in fact, it's called a VLM? Okay. So VLM is a video language model. What it does is it looks at your starting frame, and it takes a semantic assessment of it, meaning it doesn't look at the pixels of it. It just looks at the semantic values, right? And it writes a prompt. It literally writes a prompt that describes the semantic understanding it has of this picture of the first frame. So the semantic prompt might be, an empty graveyard with starry sky and whatever. And it is not written by a high prompt adherence algorithm. That prompt is a video prompt, so it sets the stage, and it has no verbs in it. The ones that I saw didn't have any verbs in it, so it's not there to. No, it did. Yeah, sorry, I'm mixing them up. It sets the stage, and it also guesses at the most archetypal motion that image should probably have. So, for example, if the image, this is the example I was given. It was an empty hall with a stairwell coming down, and at the bottom of the stairwell there was a door. And I was given two examples. In the first one, it described the hallway with the stairwell. And the second thing it did was say a figure walks down the stairs, or a figure comes through the door. And then the prompt that I gave it was a random prompt about like a whiskey bottle or something. And so it had a random character walk out the door and to pick up the whiskey that suddenly appeared on the floor, or it had somebody come down the stairs or whatever. So the motion archetype of the empty room was somebody using the stairs or somebody using the door. So trying to use that as a scene without a character appearing was very difficult. If I suggested that a character appeared, then it worked. I thought that was fascinating. And I need to see more examples, and I've been promised that I can see more examples when there's time. But knowing that it's writing a prompt with the assumption of the motion, and that means that our prompt is literally appended to it. It's just like a frickin' copy paste. It's not fancy at all. It's not integrated. It's not like your prompt and its prompt are integrated. They're just the first one and then the other concatenated and sent as the job. So raw means you don't get that. It's just you. There's no concatenation with the VLM. But if you do them both, then it sets the scene and it sets a motion or archetype in going, and then your prompt argues with it. So that means the reason why Cowbell works is that at some point the tokens in the second prompt will overpower whatever's happening in the first prompt. Because if you say, you know, she holds a rose, and that's the motion archetype from the VLM, and then in this one you say she holds a daisy, she holds a daisy, she holds a daisy, she holds a daisy, then in theory you'll get a daisy and not a rose, even though the VLM invisibly said rose. Does that make sense? So that's why cowbelling is really, it must be really effective. I mean, I'm guessing that's why cowbelling is effective. The only way to do that is with motion low and motion high. And that increases the chance that the VLM will choose a high motion prompt and stuff. Do you think there's token culling going on like in the image model? I mean, probably. But when I saw the example, my prompt was wholesale concatenated. My prompt was short, but it was wholesale concatenated with the VLM prompt. No edits. And in raw, you just skip the VLM prompt. So that means that in raw mode, you have to do the work the VLM was doing. In raw mode, it means that you have, sorry, there's a little bug in here and he is literally flying into my nostril. It means that when you're in raw mode, you have to mimic what the VLM is doing. And what the VLM is doing is repeating the description of the scene. So when I prompted raw and I just say, you know, 3D rotation, I'm not doing all the work that the VLM would have done for me. And so no wonder it doesn't work. So if we want to get strong in raw mode, we have to, yes, the VLM in raw repeats the description. No, the VLM always repeats the description of the scene. If we're in raw mode, we should probably pick up that banner, because we don't have the help of the VLM, and obviously it's required. Otherwise, why would they have programmed a VLM to do it for everyone all the time? Repeat the description of the scene. We know to do that for characters. We know to pin and pull, to get our character, you know, we know to repeat. Thank you. Pull and pin to keep our characters consistent. We don't normally think about that for video and for the scene, but the semantics. This is aligned with my experience with raw mode, but you articulated better than I've been able to. Thanks, Kleck. So we can experiment with that as a community, as a group. We can play with that notion. You know, what can we extrapolate from this tiny tidbit of knowledge that we've been given? What can we extrapolate that we know now that the VLM is characterizing the image for us semantically, and also including the most archetypal motion possible associated with it. And so we have to, if we're in raw mode, we should probably, I'm just repeating myself just to make sure everyone understands. So if we're in raw mode, we should probably capture the scene in the prompt and then infuse it with the motion. This is how we should prompt. Hold on, I'm not looking. Yes. See also this GIF. So it was kind of them, I suppose, to set it up so that we don't have to keep doing that. I mean, they set it up so the VLM will always do that for us, so we can just take care of, you know, so the motion part. That was the idea. Do you guys want to test this? Do we have time? We have 15 minutes. Break the semantics. What do you mean, Heems? You think that's the right way to test it? This also explains why it felt comfortable to prompt non-raw in video when no one wanted to do something expected. When one wanted to do something expected. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, so here's the starting frame of the frog. I'm just going to do a quick test. Starting frame of frog, and I'm just going to say he takes a sip of tea. So in this case, I'm not restating the character. I am not restating the scene. I'm not doing anything. And then here in raw, I'm going to say a cute frog monk is sitting cross-legged on, I can't remember what these mats are called, a tatami mat? Is that right? He is surrounded by a serene tea room. In his hands, he's holding a cup of tea. He takes a sip of tea. Then puts the cup down. Okay. So this is theoretically going to be a more reliable prompt. Let's find out. The table behaves like a small Jack Russell Terrier dog running around and seeking snacks from the viewer. It's like those seances. Okay, so he takes a sip of tea in raw mode. Not bad. Looks fine to me. He takes a sip of tea in raw mode. He left a copy of the tea there. He left a copy again. And in this one, he's saying, no, I don't want the tea. I don't want the tea. I'm just going to pour it out all over myself. Okay, so raw was a little bit random, is what that tells me. We got one good one, though, even with just he takes a sip of tea. So now we check to see how many out of the 4 are correct using what we know about the VLM. So in theory, these 4 should be increased coherency and less Jack Russell Terriers. Fewer Jack Russell Terriers. Okay, 1 out of 4. He pours it into his chin. But okay. It doesn't know where his mouth is. But there are no weird copies or anything. Let's see if I can fix that. He takes a sip. He lifts the cup of tea up to his mouth. Then he takes a sip of tea, then puts the cup down. Oh, okay, Colette. Colette says, while there is no VLM prompt for this image because I'm in RAW, there might still be other information that informs that there is a teacup. In order to truly test RAW, you should start without a teacup in the scene at all. We should remember there are multiple components that feed into the actual model way down in the basement. That's true. Yeah, I think that's right. Damage Case says, I think non-RAW lets the algo better understand the image and thus have a better grasp at manipulating it. Non-RAW is the only way to have it try to understand the image. Nice, Johnny. Oh, we got a copy. But it's going all the way up to his mouth now.
course, you've got yourself a beginning and end frame there. If you get an end frame where he's actually got his mouth open, he's drinking it, and then you've got your beginning frame, you can run it again, and this time he will drink it because you've got the end frame forcing the issue.
That's true. Okay, let's try it. So, oh, hold on. Oh, stupid hands. Okay, here's the end frame I'm going to use. Copy current frame, I suppose. Okay. And then the beginning frame I'm going to use. And the prompt I'm going to use. I do think these are better in terms of reaching his mouth. I mean, look, this one even has his mouth open. Great, but we do have the copy situation. I think with this, what I'd have to do is say he uses both hands because it wants his other hand to be doing something. In both hands, he's holding a cup of tea. He lifts a cup of tea with his mouth using both hands. Cup back down on the saucer. That I'm naming the saucer to try to get, you know, I know that the saucer's there and it should be empty, sort of thing. Oh, okay. Collect says you lift it up from the saucer. One way or the other, if you name the saucer, it'll help. Two hands worked also with the end frame. Then we'd have to extend it to have him put it down again, I guess. Two sips because the end frame suggested the second sip. This one was great. Do you see the shimmer of the tea in there? His hands are shaking like mine do. Nice. I like that idea, 1D. This worked too, naming the saucer, pinned it. Yeah, it's the same thing. I like this better than the end frame solution. This looks more natural. So that, I think that proves it, you guys. I mean, I wasn't lying to you in the first place, but I think that this, at least, it's not like it needed to be proved like that. I mean, I know you guys trust me, but I just mean that this, I hope this method of prompting in raw helps you see how the VLM works. Are his feet weird? Well, he's a frog. Oh, I see. Yes. This is not the corrected version of this picture. Southern Belle I have another one where I went in with the editor and fixed his feet so they're not, his foot is piercing his shin. It's not quite what we prefer. Video raw prompting seems like too much work even for me. Yeah. Let's see if I can find. Oh, I have a lot of frog pictures, you guys. Oh, here he is.
Mhm.
One of these, his foot is fixed. I thought one of these, his foot is fixed. I guess not. Oh, here. Yeah. Oh dear. So many frogs. Okay. Well, we have come to the end of Promptcraft Live, but there are other things going on today. The first thing I want to do, especially for those of you who were here for the first time, I've just put a link in your chat, which goes to our feedback form. If you fill that out, at some point when we get it all sorted, you'll start getting treats because it adds you to a mailing list that I haven't sent anything to yet. And it is just me. It'll come from a Midjourney address. So you can, if you whitelist midjourney.com, you'll get the treats. We just haven't figured out how to make it go yet. The guy who was figuring it out took another job. So we'll get that. We'll get that done. If you have left feedback before, please go ahead and leave feedback a second time. Or third or fourth or fifth, because that's how we keep track of how we're doing. And feel free to complain bitterly in there as well if you like. It will probably find an audience one way or the other. Also, if you are interested in what else is going on today, we do have the music video jam, which is coming up in 2 hours. And I encourage you to use this URL. Bye, Collect. Use this URL to remind yourself when events are happening. If you are into that sort of thing, it'll send you a reminder. Clarabelle says, "Where is the posting for newsletter from you? Feedback form? Yes. I send newsletters to the people who subscribe to the Midjourney calendar and to the people who fill out the feedback form. I've only done the calendar so far. Yeah, I mean, it'll find an audience. You're welcome, Vaban. If I'm Clarinet, then you're Vob Van. Thanks everyone for coming today. Please swing back for the music jam. Take a break and then come back, and Kinky Kong will keep you busy and entertained. I will try to write up all of our notes and stuff as soon as we can.
Okay.
Okay, bye everyone. Jenny, say goodbye. Bye, Jenny. Bye.